Chris Spiker here.
I'm Aaron Goldstein.
Aaron, this is the third section of the show. You and I are going to talk a little bit about minding your business.
Sounds good.
We've been doing this for a couple of years now. The folks over here at the radio station have been nice enough to give the Lancaster Chamber an hour every week. So we interview 3 chamber members usually, and then we do the community events. But we're going to talk a little bit about minding your business. Chamber's been doing the show for about 10 years. And Anna Zarley was doing it for many years. And I saw, oh man, they've got a staff person and she's out of the office. And so I made this suggestion, why don't you get a volunteer to do the radio show? So here I am. And you came along, and so you videotape each of the sessions. And we talked to all kinds of people. I think we probably talked to over 300 people. We've got at least 280 videos up on the Chamber website.
We've met a lot of unique, interesting people in life through this show.
Some of them grab you, don't they?
Some of them really do. There's been a few people that have been on the show that I've been to their businesses. I've continued to talk with them ever since they've been on.
And I think that's the value of the show is people will listen to it on a Saturday morning, or they'll watch the video, they'll find it in Discovery, and they'll go, oh yeah, that's a nice business or a nice person. I think it adds a lot of, it's not a commercial. It's not a written, rehearsed commercial. It's just a conversation. So we've talked about Chevys, and we've had all the medical folks from different places, but the City of Hope, you seem to think those medical shows were about the best.
Oh yeah. Having doctors on the show, it doesn't get better than that. We always get a nice bit of a educational bit there, you know?
Yeah. And to think, you know, if they're sitting here with us for a few minutes, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's you know, those doctors don't get a lot of spare time.
Right.
And so they would come here and spend a good 15, 30 minutes with us. It means a lot.
Melissa over there at City of Hope, she realizes, you know, to have a video made of her doctors is huge. And they need to get the word out in the Antelope Valley, you know. So the radio program plays on Saturdays on 1380. But you have to be within a few miles of the station or the antenna to hear it. But the videos are out forever.
Yeah, videos are forever on YouTube, free to watch, free to listen. If you don't, want to look at the screen, you can just listen to the audio. It's just as good a show.
Right. Nobody can call in because we record earlier, but it's a great show.
You can leave comments on the videos though, and we see them. We often read them.
We do often read them. You enjoy your task here, shooting the videos?
Yeah, it's great to do. You get to meet a lot of interesting people, and through that, I've met people that I will go to their place of business and do business with them. Some of them do business with me. It's one of those things. You keep a good relationship with people, and it works out usually. We've been able to connect with various people around the valley that have watched the show. Even we've had them on the show. People on YouTube, they'll see the show and they say, "Hey, this is interesting that this exists," and they'll go and look into it.
We're kind of the go-to, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey, we need to be on the show.
We're like the travel guide, except we kind of go more towards the business sense than the location sense. But
when you said travel guide, that reminded me, the lady out at Crystal Air with the launcher, the sailplane launcher that you don't get launched in.
I'm afraid to go on that.
But we're going to do a story on it. And she's from Santa Clarita or some other place, and she's just thinking there's such an adventure industry here in the Antelope Valley. She says, who's telling the story about all the cool things there are to do in the Antelope Valley? I go, I like this lady. So that's exactly why we're going to go out there and do a little AV Nice piece on that launcher, because they're into kids having a ride in a sailplane, and they also worked with disabled veterans, wounded warriors, and they just are getting the word out. And I said, that's exactly what we do. We find cool stories and we get the word out.
Anytime people are giving back, that's a good thing to give back to.
Yeah. So we get to shoot the videos and own the videos, and our footprint goes on to whoever we're interviewing. Some people have a huge following, or maybe they've got a lot of grandmas or somebody's watching the videos. A lot of the videos I think are up on people's websites.
We've got some that have gone up pretty high up there.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably not going viral. I'm going to keep my flower shop job, but this is a lot of fun.
A few thousand views on one of them, hard to complain.
That's cool. Is that because they're so well edited?
I don't know about that. I think it's not necessarily about how the story is edited or how well the footage looks or how good the audio sounds. I think it's really the story that matters.
The story, yeah. And we are usually able to find a story.
Yeah. We do it for the story, and making it look good and sound good is just a bonus.
So what do you think the story was with Jeff Cruz from Hallie Olson Murphy?
Well, I mean, the story in that case is it's good to be self-prepared is how I would look at it. We've had situations, I'm pretty sure everyone has a situation where you have to think of the future of, hey, am I going to need to plan this out in a few years? And, you go around, you shop for plots at a cemetery, you might be looking into what a service would cost. It could be visiting a florist and say, hey, in this much time, how much these flowers might cost. So really it's about self-preparedness, I would say, is the message you want to give with that specific show.
Yeah. And I thought, the guy and his wife are new to town, and they're liking the area, and I thought, well, this is a person who could be here for a while. And I thought, well, that's nice if they like the Antelope Valley.
It's nice when you hear people say, oh, I love it here, because we don't hear that enough. And it's really a good place. There's so much to do and see here.
Yeah.
I mean, every single day, practically, you can go out and see an air show.
Right.
And it's free of cost. You just look up in the air over Walmart, you see a B-2 flying over like I do sometimes.
A lot of times I hear something go over and I run out to look and I see a bird. And I go, that's crazy. I know that was an airplane.
Yeah.
Where
Some
is
of them, they move fast.
They
They're
do.
high up there.
Yeah. And
The
they-
sun and clouds can block them out a little bit, but
They
they're
make a
there.
lot of noise, huh?
They do. They really do.
It is an amazing place. We got talked Jeff up a little bit about the fair that's coming up. He gets to wear his cowboy hat and his boots and all that stuff.
I've heard that we may be back at the fair this year.
You and I?
Yeah.
All right. We are on the media list
Yeah.
for the fair. They're sending me notices every once in a
They're
while.
keeping
City of
us around.
Palmdale. Yeah, so this is fun, We're media. We're not journalists in the true sense of the word, but, we tell stories. We interview people.
In a way, we are journalists. I think we're what draws the line between photojournalist and paparazzi. We get the story without getting in someone's face.
Yeah. And, usually produce a little blog to go with it that kind of gives some printed copy. So what were you trained for in school?
I was trained for graphic design, and that has nothing to do with what I do now. I don't think I've done a graphic design job in 5 years, and I probably never will unless, actually I did the Board of Trade media passes, which I guess is a design job, but I ended up not doing anything related to design and got into photography and video, from which I only had one high school class that taught me how to shoot and edit video, and everything else I taught myself and read books, did it the old school way.
Yeah. How would you prepare for something like that? It's pretty tough.
I don't know if there's really a way to prepare yourself to teach you like a new skill. Really all you can do is just approach it with the will to learn and put the work in. The 10,000 hours, you become a master.
Yeah. So I think what you really want to do in life is just take pictures of cars.
Well, it's a fun thing to do, getting to go around, and I've been lucky enough to be given the opportunity to photograph cars that are probably never attainable in my wildest dreams.
Keep dreaming, right?
The most expensive car I've ever been able to photograph probably has a value of about $6 million in today's market. So
that wasn't that Lamborghini you were in at the airport.
No, not that one.
That was just a couple $100,000.
Well,
Yeah.
that there is about $120,000 nowadays.
That's attainable.
In certain ways, I guess.
Yeah.
Not when you have to maintain it, but
Okay, minding your business. You got involved in this, and where do you see it going?
hopefully I see us doing it for many more years to come. It would be very nice if we could do a little bit more community outreach and just to have more variety, I think, is a general goal to strive for. But I'd like to say we do a very good job already. We often have very amazing guests. We work with amazing people here at the station.
That's the trick, isn't it? It's the content.
Yeah.
It's the stories, the people, the businesses.
The people are everything. You can't have anything without having people behind it.
Positively. And we should remind people that to be on the show, they're supposed to be chamber members.
Sometimes we
slip,
flex a little bit.
We flex a little bit. But there are amazing stories that benefit the community out there. I think you missed the boat if you only have those chamber members and you don't open up to include somebody. Because I've had a couple people right here say, well, how much, like the Honda dealership.
Yeah.
They wrote a big check to be a member.
And Eric Rance joined the chamber.
And he's just the kind of guy that you just think he joins everything, belongs to everything.
Yeah. And he wasn't a member. He came on the show and he said, hey, I'm signing up today.
Wrote a check. Yeah, so.
I mean, community service is really a good thing to do. It's why I love our current event segment. We talk about what's going on in the community. No bias. We talk about anything and everything.
Yeah. Chris Spiker, Aaron Goldstein. We'll be right back with current events.